Bespoke radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Good evening, Fade to Black. Bespoke radio for the masses. Today's Wednesday, February 14th, Thursday. Today's Thursday? Is today Wednesday or Thursday? Today's Thursday, February 14th, 2019. 45 days into the new year, just 320 days left. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. We are live from a bunker somewhere in the middle of beautiful downtown Burbank, California. And I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States. Hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black for KJCR, the Game Changer Network, and KGRA, the planet. I am your host, Jimmy Church. What is cracking, everybody? Happy Valentine's Day. That's right. I like it when days like this fall on a Fadernight. Makes it all the more special, doesn't it? All right. Tonight is Fadernight. Open lines all night long. And at the bottom of the hour, we're going to be joined by Serena, Wright Taylor, and Douglas Taylor. Some call him Doug. Doug Taylor, bottom of the hour, followed by open lines at the top of the hour all night long. The new call-in number is 747-228-2051. And I'm just going to say, I think we got the phone lines all worked out. Yeah, I think we do. I tell you what, I'm worn out. Do I look like, you know what it's like, especially back in the day, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, when Windows was going through all those growing pains and you had your new software, your new apps were, everything was on a CD or, even going back further, floppies, or you had 3-4 floppies and you had to install them in a row. Sometimes you had a couple of install disk, right? And you have to do that. And working through issues, and have to go through and device settings and this and that and ports and sit there and configure and you would sometimes, and especially back in the day, if you had a virus or you had something weird, where you would sit at your computer for 8 hours and uninstalling and installing and figuring it out and this and that, and you would just and you would go brain dead. That's where I am right now. It was like that today with the phones. And we have a very complex setup here. I need everybody to just imagine for a second. If you, and especially if you're an aspiring podcaster, right? An aspiring podcaster and or you've got you've got a laptop and you Skype once in a while and you got a Skype headset and you got a microphone, you got your laptop in front of you, and that is your setup, right? Okay. Take that and times it times 100. Because that's what we have here. We have an extremely complex studio setup. We have 2 different studios. multiple computers in each one, multiple audio interfaces. We have analog and digital. We have compressors. We have equalizers. We have different playback systems for audio and for video. We have the remote controls for all of that for audio and video. We have digital streams that are converted from analog to digital. We have separate computers that run the streams out of, this is no joke, separate computers that run the streams out of the studio. We have separate computers that receive stuff coming in. We have another separate computer system that only runs video. That's it. Then we have other computers that are running not only things, typical things like the internet, right? Like Twitter, that still has to happen. And all of that stuff is in addition to everything else. All of this is interconnected between two studios with cables, and communication has to happen between the two studios. That has to happen on a computer somewhere, and that has to be viewed, right? And also remember this, all of the audio and video in and out of your computer that you have there, that's for one computer. Okay, now, if you have to run two separate pieces of audio, you have to run 2-3 different video feeds, or you need multiple accounts, all of that has to run. You don't have a computer runs everything looking for one sound card. That's it. There's one video. You might have two monitor outputs, right? So when I'm telling you that we're running through things that are very, very complex, and I've got to suss something out, and I've got to get things worked out, and we're bringing in a new phone system. Now, this phone system has to run on something, and those audio in and out, those have to go somewhere. They have to come from somewhere, and to split it up in between two computers and two users where you both can view it, and you both can answer, you both can listen, you both can hang up, you both can put things on hold. It's a complex setup. It's crazy. And then we have to get all of that integrated into everything else that we're currently running. So, but I think, I think we got it working. Man, I'm a little bit rough right now, man. I'm a little rough. Okay. All right. So, and we had to make sure. It was funny today. I had a couple of emails come in. Jimmy, we got to have a conference call this afternoon. I was like, man, today's not the day to talk to me about phones. Not today. No phone calls today. I have not opened up the phone lines. Phone calls are coming in. Rita, you can answer them and tell them that we're not picking up, we're not doing anything for another hour. Okay, so there you go. Okay, you know what to do. Social media. Right? On Stellar, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Everything is right there at jimmychurchradio.com. Follow me on Twitter at jchurchradio. At jchurchradio. Best way to interact with me and stay in touch with me. Any questions or comments, post it right there in Twitter. Hashtag F2B is the sandbox. All right? And I'm gonna say this. I try to stay up on Twitter. The one thing that I've noticed with Twitter is that if you guys message me or if something comes in and I don't catch it, then it gets buried in, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tweets, and I'll never see it. And then, I get that message, hey, man, I sent you something on Twitter, man. You never responded. Well, it's not, nobody's ignoring you. Just never saw it. All right? But hit me up on Twitter, and if you want to, get to me directly, as direct as possible, hashtag F2B or hashtag F2BQ. That is literally the way to go. All right. Email is also Jimmy at jimmychurchradio.com. Breaking news today. Big news today. Amazon. Amazon has canceled their New York headquarters, right? And New York won. And Governor Cuomo said he was going to change his name to Amazon Cuomo, and he would do that if he thought it would help make this deal go through. Amazon chooses New York City. They planned everything out, and then there was some backlash, a little bit, right? A couple of local politicians, landowners, some other people in the neighborhood going, hey, man, we live here really inexpensively. You guys move here, the rent's going to go up. Everything's going to get gentrified. This is a cool area. This is a cool part of the world, and you guys are going to ruin it for us, bringing in 25,000 people and blah, 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 blah. And Amazon said, well, you know what? And I'm quoting here today. After much thought and deliberation, we've decided not to move forward with our plans to build a headquarters for Amazon in Long Island City, Queens. And that was according to Amazon spokeswoman Jody Seth, and she said that earlier today. The project was announced in 2017 with Amazon kickstarting a bidding war between cities looking to attract them. New York was declared the winner last November after Bill de Blasio and Governor Cuomo, who I just mentioned, said that they would change their names to Amazon Cuomo. The company, which already pays a grand total of $0 in federal income taxes, that's right, would have to be able to get about $1.5 billion in tax breaks and an additional grants of $3,000 per employee for locating in the city. Now, and so Cuomo said yes, gave in. They got, I think the total number was like $3 billion in tax breaks, where all the other local businesses there aren't getting anything. And that's just not cool. I totally understand that. Having that much infrastructure move into your neighborhood with everything that involves, you do have to house everybody. You have to transport everybody. Everybody's got to get fed and everything else that comes into play. It's a big deal. But the other, the flip side of this is, what would it have done for the local economy, right? Not only the landlords and the realty and, the realtors and that part of it, but everybody needs stuff. Wouldn't it have just brought everything up a level? So there you go. I understand the tax breaks parts, but it doesn't matter. I think this deal is officially off. All right. Coming up next week, actually kind of kicks off a week from today, a week from tomorrow, the Conscious Life Expo in Los Angeles is kicking off at the LAX Hilton, February 22nd through the 25th. And I've said it for the last 2 months. This is a very big deal. We are celebrating the 50th anniversary of Chariots of the Gods with Eric Von Daniken, and I will be hosting the panel, the kickoff panel, the keynote panel, Friday night with Eric and Linda Moulton Howe, Jason Martell, Billy Carson, and Rabbi Ariel Bar Zadok. Okay, so you want to be there. You've got to get tickets for this panel. Okay, go to ConsciousLifeExpo.com. Full conference schedule is there, what you need. This panel starts at 7 p.m., not at 8 p.m., and that is online. So print your stuff online so you know what's going on. All right, George Norrie's going to be there. Nassim Haramein, Robert Schock. I'm going to introduce Schock. Daniel Brinkley, Bashar. I'm going to introduce Bashar, too. I've kind of said I would, and I'm going to. Grant Cameron's going to be there. Julia Mossbridge. Another 50 speakers and presenters are going to be there for the 2019 Conscious Life Expo. Click on the banners at jimmychurchradio.com. Go. We will see you guys there. Our booth is on the second floor in the mezzanine. When you first walk in, either come off the elevator, come up the stairs, right there, boom, fade to black. All right? So come by, hang out with us. We'll have T-shirts, hats, and all kinds of other fun stuff. Okay, and we'll be there all weekend long. And let's see, Hoffman's Optics is going to be there, of course. Alec Hoffman, night vision goggles. So come and hang out with us. Okay, all right. And if you've got the new goggles, if you've got the new ones, I'll sign them. Yeah, I'll sign them right there. Come by and visit us at our booth. And then right after that, Contact in the Desert's coming up May 31st through June 3rd. Indian Wells, Palm Springs, California at the Renaissance Indian Wells Resort and Spa. Tickets and info, contactinthedesert.com. Saturday night, I'm going to be hosting the awards dinner, and I want all Fadernauts there. So get your tickets for the dinner at contactinthedesert.com. Right after that is our Soul Tech Conference 2019. over the July 4th weekend at the Sunrise Ranch in Loveland, Colorado. Sign up for tickets and info right now, SoulTechGathering.com. All right, where am I? Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. It is just $2 per month. $2 per month. You get, as of next week, over 1,000 episodes. Oh, that will be next Thursday night is show number 1,000, and it is on a Fadernight. So for just $2 per month, right, we're up to 995 archived episodes for you right there for just $2 per month. You can also become a Fadernaut in our membership section of the site. So when you go over to jimmychurchradio.com, support us any way that you can, right? Go to the podcast, $2 a month. It helps. Every little bit helps. $2 a month, you get the podcast. You want to become an official Fadernaut, go to our membership section. It's right there. And you can do whatever you want. You can become a Fadernaut for free. Get the bunker cam. You can do whatever. Get a private email to me. That's right. Become a game changer. A 1-year subscription, a game changer. That's going to get you an autographed hat, autographed T-shirt. You're going to get all the downloads that you can handle, MP3s that you can play anywhere, private email to me. You get the whole works. Get the Game Changer 1-year subscription over at jimmychurchradio.com. And when you get that hat and T-shirt, take a picture. Send it to us. Post it. Okay? We're going to be building that Fadernaut page, that gallery, and we're going to have that ready here very, very soon. And you know you want to be there. All right? All right, where am I at? Oh, happy birthday to, I can't forget this, today, Simon Pegg. Simon Pegg is 49. And funny guy. Also, he can be a pretty serious actor, too. But I think Simon Pegg has done a lot for the world of ufology. I do. For disclosure. I really, really do. Think about that for a second. And the paranormal. I think Simon Pegg is cool. I think he's been read in. I think he knows something. And therefore, I'm saying happy birthday. He's 49 years old today. Now, oh man, do I love my River Moon coffee. Oh, did you see who, it was Lucinda. Lucinda posted up today in Twitter. I did a retweet on this. Did you guys see her new espresso machine? Is that thing absolutely insane? Where's this thing at? Here it is right here. It's a Breville. It's a Breville. Look at that. That thing is insane. Did I retweet this? I'm going to retweet it right now. I'm going to retweet this. That is the most beautiful. So I got to get me one of these. There you go. I just retweeted it, Lucinda. That's her Valentine's Day present. Look at that thing. And nothing tastes better in that than Fade to Black blend. Can you imagine? Look at that thing. Thing's incredible. Rita, we got to get one of those. Now, next week, I guess I can sort of leak this out. Next week, we've got a really, really amazing week lined up. It's Thursday night. You know what? I don't care. Monday, we've got Richard Dolan on the show. Tuesday, we've got David Icke. And Wednesday, I'm going to wait for Rita to text me. Can we announce Wednesday? Wednesday is going to be a QAnon Insider. That's right. Maybe even 2. And that's going to be Wednesday. So that's our week next week. It is going to be powerful. And today, I'm not going to go off on this or spend a whole lot of time on this, but or name any names. But you use your imagination. Today, there was a tweet that went out. I'm going to continue here in just a second. There was a tweet that went out from one of you tweeters about somebody whose name is known somewhat, not in ufology, more outside of the circles. But anyway, The point is, this person is a big QAnon supporter in person. And QAnon, Q, is questioning this person. Now, so I went and clicked and went, what, you know, and Q is all in code and you got to figure it out. And I don't do that. Everybody figures it out and then I read it. But I went through and I was looking at the Anons out there and the Q supporters that are commenting on this individual. And it went far and wide, man, far and wide. And how quick they they don't play around. Just let me say that. And it's going to get a little interesting. This next couple of months are going to be really fun. It's really, really fun to see who, you know, if you're going to dance, make sure you stay on the dance floor. If you're gonna throw down, then you continue to throw down and do your thing. Always play in bounds and always play by the rules. Always be honest, never lie, and don't do anything stupid. Don't do anything that's of bad moral character. If you do that, if you stay in bounds and you behave, you can do whatever you want. You can reveal, you can talk, you can expose, you can point fingers, you can do all of that. Just do it within the rules. Just do it, and those rules are to stay ethical. That's all. You stay ethical and you stay in bounds, then you're okay. Just like this show. Show is always played in bounds. I have allowed a platform for anybody to come on where we can sit and have an interesting conversation, and where that conversation goes, it goes. Where it doesn't, it doesn't. And then everything is up to you or up to that individual to stay within moral character. If you step outside of that, you're doomed, right? And we're seeing that go down now, and it's a lot of fun. And what I mean by that is, why is it a lot of fun? It's because if you are going to roll the dice, and listen to me, if you're going to roll the dice, you're taking chances. And there are people out there that were rolling the dice and taking chances, just thinking that, A, they weren't going to get caught, or B, that they were smarter than you. And that's the truth. You've got to stay in bounds. You got to stay in bounds. Alex Jones is another example of that. Alex Jones is somebody that, you know what? Great information for the most part. Fun, entertaining guy. But he decided to step out of bounds. And that's okay, right? That's okay if that's what you want, and you deal with what that's going to bring you if you step out of bounds. That's a personal, individual decision that you make. But if there is blowback, or if there's things you have to deal with in the future, then it's on you. And that's what we're going through today. So next week, we're going to have a couple of QAnon insiders here. And I can't wait for that conversation. I need to know. I need to know what's going on. I haven't spent enough time on QAnon or Q. I read what other people say. I hear how they react. What I find strange about QAnon, and we'll get to the bottom of this next week, is we have an issue here. And I didn't get to the rest of my stuff, but I'll do it now. We have an issue here with QAnon. Why is it either Q is the most explosive, unbelievable, earth-changing situation ever in the history of everything, or it's not? That's it. There's no gray area. It's either the most explosive or it's not. That's it. Now, why wouldn't mainstream media or reporters or journalists that aren't in the mainstream be reporting or taking the chances on QAnon being the most explosive thing ever and covering it? Everybody's chosen to ignore it. There's been a couple of little things here and there. But why ignore it? I don't think that's a wise thing to do. I'm trying to figure it out. And we will. We'll get to the bottom of it next week. Let's get to our dead guy's birthday today. Florence Henderson. That's right. 1934, 2016. Died at the age of 82. Carol Brady. Carol Brady and the Brady Bunch from 1969 to 1974. And was ranked Still is one of the 100 greatest TV icons of all time. Oh, Mike. 3 days before her death, Henderson had attended a recording of Dances with the Stars to support her friend and former on-screen daughter, Maureen McCormick, who was a contestant, right? 2 days later, Florence was hospitalized at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles and then died the following day. No signs of illness, wasn't sick, felt a little strange. Boom, died at the age of 82. On this day in history, Valentine's Day, 1977, the B-52s play their first gig. That's right, the B-52s, one of the greatest bands in history, makes its worldwide debut at a Valentine's Day house party in Athens, Georgia. Fader fact, the first U.S. gold rush started in North Carolina in 1803 when a 12-year-old young man found a 17-pound gold nugget on his father's farm. It ended up supplying all of the gold for the nation's mints until 1829. And that is your Fader fact. All right, tonight's another Fader night, open lines all night long. When I come back after this break, we will be joined by Serena, Wright Taylor, and Douglas Taylor. At the top of the hour, we are opening up the phone lines, open lines all night long. It's Thursday night. It is Fader night, and I do want to hear from all of you. We've got a lot to talk about. It's been a crazy week. It's been a crazy month. It's been a crazy year. It's insane. We have 2019 laying out right in front of us. Let's do this. It is Fader night, my favorite, absolute favorite night of the week. Am I on the right? I think I am. I think I'm on the right music. Here we go. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Email is jimmy@jimmychurchradio.com. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. I'll be right back with Serena and Doug Taylor right after this short break. Stay with me.
This is Nicole Church, daughter of you-know-who, and you're listening to Fade to Black on JimmyChurchRadio.com and the Game Changer Network.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can get our podcast for just $2 per month. All you have to do is click on the podcast banner over at jimmychurchradio.com.
Hey folks, guess what the number one phrase that Life Change Tea receives by email? You ready? We love this tea. We love this tea. Time after time, week after week, we love this tea. Life Change Tea gives you more energy. a beautiful cleansing, and fulfills its slogan perfectly. The tea that makes you go. So if you want to be on your health game, log on to getthetea.com and order Life Change Super Strength Tea. Packages come in a 1-month supply, and when you brew this stuff, wait until you see the results. Aren't we all about the results? And with a lot of people's health struggling, we can use a little bit of help. Doctors will tell you disease starts in the gut. So log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Be our next email saying, I love this tea. I love this tea. Get the tea at getthetea.com. Helping America one tea bag at a time.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, The Planet.
Do you want to lose weight but have no idea where to begin? The Fast Start Diet, a 3-day weight loss plan, is the answer. 3 days of nutritionally balanced, calorie-restricted meals delivered right to your door. No shopping, no measuring, and no cooking. Everything is prepared for you and ready to eat at home or on the go. The Fast Start Diet has all the amazing benefits of intermittent fasting without starving. We've helped thousands of people who have struggled to reach their weight loss goals. Isn't it time we helped you? With the Fast Start Diet, you'll lose weight and feel great.
Find Fast Start Diet on Amazon or go to faststartdiet.com and use promo code TALK to get 10% off your first box. And as a special bonus, Fast Start will include their #1 rated Lipo3 appetite suppressant spray free with your order. This is Jimmy Church. And whatever your diet plans are, do what I did. Go to faststartdiet.com.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Massey, and you're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. On the Game Changer Network at KGRA, The Planet. It's Fadernight, Thursday night, best night of the week. Open lines all night long. And we'll get to your phone calls at the top of the hour. Okay, at the top of the hour, we'll open things up. But right now, I would like to welcome back to Fade to Black two of our not only members of the family, but great friends, Serena Wright Taylor and Douglas Taylor. Serena first, happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's, Jimmy. Great to talk to you today.
Yeah.
How does it feel? You have the best astrological chart since 1963.
I know. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that now. Doug, how are you? Oh, I don't have Doug. Okay, Doug is not there. I got a weird line, a noise in Doug's line. Okay, I'm going to reset Doug's line. I don't know where he went. I think he was there. But, okay, it's no big deal. While I'm doing that, Serena, let's see. Okay, I'm bringing him in now. Hold on. Doug, you there?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what happened. It sounded like you were making margaritas. I think that's what it was. See, Serena, you're in another part of the home right now. That's what, when you're away, Doug's in the kitchen, right, with the tequila and the margarita mix, because I think
you got it.
That's what it sounded like. How you doing? Hey, Doug, what did you do special today for Valentine's Day for Serena?
Well, she's my angelic soulmate, so I had to do something special. So I got her a card, and it had a big frog on it. And the frog said, "I'm so happy today because you make me so happy."
I thought you said...
Very cute. It was very cute. No, I gave her flowers and candy, and, it goes on and on, all the stuff I gave her.
I thought you were going to say car. You got her a car. I was like, right.
I'm not there yet. No, I'm still working on my bank account.
That's quite all right. And, Valentine's Day is a special day. And what And we're going to talk about that in just a second. But what's really cool is the vibe that everybody is on right now. We're a week away from the Conscious Life Expo, and I can't believe it. It is such a big, special event. As big as it is, it's nothing more than a group of friends. Serena, don't you get that vibe? It's nothing but friends there.
Oh, yeah. I'm so much looking forward to seeing everyone in person. And I'm so happy to get to talk to all of my, they feel like they're my family. All my favorite speakers who have become my friends almost all year, really, because we prepared for it all year, really, but especially for the last 6 months and just forming everything we're going to do. And of course, I have the UFO panel. You have the Ancient Alien panel on Friday. Mm-hmm. On Sunday, I have the UFO panel. And we're calling it, or I named it, the Extraterrestrial Influences in Human Evolution. Are they influencing our evolution? And we've got the most incredible speakers. Shall I run through?
Who's on your panel?
Yeah, we got Grant Cameron, Paula Harris, Steve Mera from UK, Stephen Bassett, Linda Moulton Howe, Emery Smith, and David Adair.
Wow, that's pretty.
I got a big panel.
Wow. Wow. You know what? I host a lot of panels, right? And the one thing that I'm always nervous about when you have so many great speakers that have a lot to say, that they talk too much on the panel. Right.
Yeah.
And so that's always your job as the host to rope them in. And here you've got the 7 biggest talkers in all of ufology, all at the same time. You got David Adair and Linda Moulton Howe and Grant Cameron and Bassett on the same panel.
Oh, yeah.
It's a 6-hour panel.
Well,
so
Grant Cameron can talk really fast and get everything in. Yeah.
Oh, man. Good luck with that. That's a challenge as a host. And the reason why, and this is really the truth, they all have so much to say. It's all so important, and they know it, and it's their one chance to try to get it all out. And they're passionate. They're emotional about it. And, what turns out to be a 2-minute answer turns out to be a 20-minute answer, and it's a 2-hour panel, and now you're half done. Right.
Right. And I will let them butt into each other a little bit, We have to let that happen. But, we'll have some time for questions, too, from the audience.
Oh, so you think you will. You think you will.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I'm gonna be there for that. And I want to see you. I want to see you be the den mother and cut somebody off. I want to be there when you do that. Okay, Linda, thank you for that. Thank you.
I'll be so afraid to offend my friends. Yeah,
I know. See, that's the other problem. You don't want to. You got to hang out with them later, right?
Yeah.
And so, oh man, that's going to be fantastic, and
they all have workshops too, 90 minutes throughout the weekend, and 5 of them are doing post-conference talks for 2.5 hours each. So we hope everyone can stay for Monday because it's non-stop on Monday as well. No more exhibits, but just these 2.5-hour post-conferences.
Yeah, I had every year I've been at Conscious Life. It's been extraordinary. But the last couple of years, I've watched it grow. And it's already so big, right? And then, I've seen it grow. This is the biggest year yet. And that's the one thing that I love the most about the Conscious Life Expo is the vibe. It is so cool. I say it often, but I mean it.
Yeah.
You pull up, you get out of your car, and the electricity just shoots straight up your leg. And then you walk in the doors, and then you're off to the races.
Yeah, I always feel like it's a mothership landed, That's how I describe it.
Yeah, absolutely. And Doug, real quick, you're going to be showing off your artwork again this year?
Yeah, I'll have a display down there. Actually, on the bottom level, when you first come in the door, I'll have a whole bunch of my paintings out there. And, anybody wants to come up and say hi and ask me any questions, I'd love to speak to them. It's always an extremely high, enjoyable experience for me to meet and talk with all the people. who come in there because they're all looking for something more. You know, they're looking for a little bit more positive future for themselves than what they read about in the newspaper.
Doug, I want you to tell everybody what inspires you for this artwork.
Well, you know, you'd have to kind of go into the story. That would be way too long. But in a simple few words, I am so excited that I got involved in being creative and expressing that side of myself that I didn't really even know existed, that it is really sort of a tuning in to a philosophical side of myself. I never saw myself as an artist ever in my life. I didn't start until I started having, you know, some very powerful spiritual experiences, I guess you could call it, in dream state. And so as those experiences continued to evolve, I began to realize that as I would paint, I would be tuning in to this beautiful, beautiful energy that just felt so uplifting. You know, I hate to sound so mamsy-pamsy about it, but it would actually put me in a altered state of consciousness, which was really my greatest love all my life, is to try to understand just what the mind is and how we're connected to this vast, infinite, intelligent force that is recreating the very substance and the essence of our lives, and that you can tune into that creative force and you can express it in a way that it uplifts you and it raises your energy, it raises your frequency, and hopefully sharing that is the most positive thing I can do, because I have a lot of ego problems, you know, so I got to do something to try to counterbalance them.
I just held up one of your paintings that you did for me up on the bunker cam, and I've got it hanging here down here in the bunker, and it's just it's the Gobekli Tepe one, and it's just an amazing piece of artwork. And everybody should go, and when you get to Conscious Life, go seek out. Oh, there I am pointing at your signature. That's Doug. Doug is an amazing artist. Go seek out Doug and say hello and go check out his work. He's just amazing. It's Valentine's Day, so this next question is directed at who met who. Who met who first? No, I mean, who came into play first?
Well, it's an incredible amount
Serena's
of
going to have a long story about
Well, okay, so Doug, okay, but before we get to that, Doug, was it Serena that approached you, or did you approach Serena? We're going to get to the story.
I'd have to say that she kind of approached me.
Okay,
but
all right.
I'll just put in my 2 cents worth before she talks about it, is that when I saw her at the first time that we went together at this party of a friend of hers, which was near my house in Huntington Beach, when I saw her walking around, I talked to her friend. I go, she is so angelic looking. You know, I was just picking up on this energy that was so selfless and so beautiful. And I was just like seeing it, and I'm going, you know, what is going on? You know, this person is such a beautiful, beautiful soul. And but I wasn't really into getting married, you know. I hadn't been married. I was 48, and I never thought anybody would be able to put up with me. So I found somebody who could.
All right, Serena, what happened? Tell us the story.
Well, there's an incredible amount of synchronicity, so I'll try to get through it as quick as I can. Well, first of all, the astrology was right for him and me, and I realized that afterwards. But I saw his paintings in magazines because, you know, there's no internet. It was in the 90s, so... there was a lot of magazines that were really about consciousness, like Unicus, Connecting Link, and his paintings were often on the front page. And I loved them, and you could feel the power, you know. And I would just have them next to me to meditate or even for sleeping so that I would have wonderful dreams. And his articles, sometimes there would be an article that he would write in the magazine, and they were really scientific and about consciousness at the same time, which is quite amazing. And I was very impressed with it. And then it didn't really have a picture of Douglas because it had the back of him. So he would be painting and they would show the picture and then just the back of Douglas. So I knew he had a nice back. I thought he has a nice back.
That's my best side.
I would concur.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, you're also in that category, Jimmy.
Yes, I know. Okay, so you just called Doug up.
Yeah, and so I wanted a poster or a painting, so I called, and he talked about his UFO experience and so many great things, but I couldn't go down, and he sent me the cards that he painted, beautiful cards, but I couldn't go down there because at the time I didn't drive. I only drove on the regular roads after I got a car. I didn't go on the freeway, and I was living in LA and he was in Huntington Beach, so I didn't go. And then years went by, a couple of years went by. And even though we were at the same conferences, like Whole Life, and I would be volunteering, he would have been there, but I didn't meet him. It's so funny. And it's like our spirit guides were trying to get us together at various conferences, but we never met. So then one day, my friend, who I just made friends with from Huntington Beach, was having a party. So this was quite a few years later when I could drive on the freeway. And she actually asked me what theme, and I suggested Hawaiian. And there's a lot of synchronicity about why I said that. And then I remembered Douglas lived there, and I thought, I've got to find his number and tell him about this party and show my friends his art. And so I couldn't find it. And so then, amazingly, in the mail came a pamphlet about Learning Light. It's a place where they have speakers on consciousness and stuff. And he was speaking. But again, there was a photo of him, and it was so dark and grainy that I still couldn't see what he looked like. And, but I thought, there he is. And I called them, and they gave me his number. And so then I told him about the party. And he said, come over and see, the paintings, and we can go to the party. And he liked that it was Hawaiian because he wears Hawaiian shirts, as you know, and because he's a surfer. So all that was synchronistic. And then I asked him about his birth time, so I did his chart. And then it was really a good seventh house that he has. And I thought he must be already married. But, of course, when I got there, he had nothing in the fridge, so I knew he wasn't married. And I sat next to that's a good way to tell, right?
No, that's funny. Nothing but ketchup, right? Nothing but ketchup.
Yeah,
she said I dressed like a homeless person.
Well, see, and that's the beauty of it, Doug. When somebody like Serena comes along, throws you in the shower, gets your hair cut, gives you a breath mint, and spruces you up.
I've never been so stylish as I am now.
I know,
she picked out my outfits. One time I was wearing it to a speaking schedule that I was doing, and I still had the Friday on it. She had the days of the week I was supposed to wear each type of shirt. Anyway, I'll leave it at that.
Well, so you seduced her through your artwork. Well done. And she seduced you through her charts. Well done. Well played on both of your parts. And here you are today. How many years ago was that? Mentioning Unicus, I know.
14?
Yeah.
Well, we met in 2000, so it's 18 years.
Yeah.
It was 2000.
Notice men always get the
18.
date wrong. Yeah, see,
wow.
Doug, you're entitled. Men always get the dates wrong. She'll tell you the date and the time. It was February 18th. 9:38 p.m. when you asked me out for the first time. You don't remember that? Not really. Okay. So, congratulations, you two. And you are one of the couples out there in our community that we all look up to. And you're a big part of everything that we do here. And just thank you. And happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah, happy Valentine's. Thank you.
All
Looking forward to seeing you at the expo.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next week. It's only 7 days away.
How incredible!
I know. I can't believe this year went by as fast as it did. After the show,
real quick, Jimmy.
Yeah. Go ahead, Doug.
I just wanted to thank you for carrying the torch. I know you have a lot of listeners who, are really gaining some positive information about how to basically deal with a lot of the different stressful situations that go on. So thanks for carrying the positive torch, not getting all caught up in all the negative crap, because that's what we all need to do.
Thank you. Yeah, no, thank you for that. And that's, that's the community is what is most important. It's not any one individual or anything like that. It's always about the community, and it should always be the community first. And as long as all of us are focused on that, then we win, and we just push this thing forward so we can figure out what the heck is going on.
Right on.
That's it. That's it. So we'll break some bread next week like we do every year together. Very excited to see you guys. And now, Doug, it's the end of the show. Now take Serena out to dinner.
We're waiting for the Saturday special. You know, tonight it's all too expensive. No, just kidding.
Oh, man.
No, it's okay. We already planned for the weekend.
It's cozy right here right now. You don't believe we got the fireplace on. Serena's all happy. She's got the expo coming up. She's just like beaming. So we're having a really good time hanging out at home too.
Yeah, you guys have a very special house. So just enjoy your Valentine's Day, and we'll see you guys in seven very short days.
Yeah, see you there. Great.
All right, guys. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's,
Thank you.
everyone.
Serena Wright Taylor and Douglas Taylor. And do go see Doug, his display there at the Conscious Life Expo next week. Absolutely amazing artist. And, of course, Serena's UFO panel will be on Sunday. Serena is easy to find at the Conscious Life Expo because a bright ray of sunshine follows her wherever she goes. So when you see that bright ray of sunshine, go say hi to Serena Wright Taylor. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. This is Fade to Black. Open lines are next. Stay with us.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station. Salt Lake City, Utah. Van Buren, Arkansas. Come join us for the 2019 Conscious Life Expo in Los Angeles at the LAX Hilton. This year, we are celebrating the 50th anniversary of Chariots of the Gods with Eric Von Daniken, and I'll be hosting the panel with Eric, Linda Moulton Howe, Jason Martell, Billy Carson, and join George Norrie, Nassim Haramein, Robert Schock, Daniel Brinkley, Grant Cameron, Julia Mossbridge, and another 50 speakers who will be presenting at the 2019 Conscious Life Expo. Just go to ConsciousLifeExpo.com for tickets and a full conference schedule, or click on the CLE banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com. Go back, Lee Tappy.
Folks, this is very important information. What's to be said about CBD? AncientLifeOil.com. Our CBD is made from hemp and has 0.003 THC, which means this wonderful product won't get you high, no matter what amount you take. What does CBD do for the body? My hands are tied. But you can Google CBD benefits and be astounded. When you're finished reading, you'll want to log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. and purchase. Life is good when you feel good. People are tired of pain. People are asking for non-GMO organic products to help them with, you fill in the blank. Legal in 49 states, and again, our CBD is made from hemp. Ancient Life Oil is about helping people one by one by one. If you wonder how good the product is, the CEO takes it every day without miss. AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. Have a great day.
You're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA Digital Broadcast Station.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. Yes. We are of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And I'm Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. And you're listening to Jimmy Church. The Revolution.
Reclaim your active lifestyle with Angioprim. Angioprim is the original liquid oral chelation supplement. Chelation helps remove toxins, heavy metals, and cholesterol in your veins and arteries that can cause blockages. Scientific research proves the active ingredient in Angioprim has superior oral chelation action that helps promote cardiovascular health. Find out more. Go to angioprim.com. Talk to a trained consultant by calling Angioprim toll-free 877-882-7221.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can become an official Fadernight by just going to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com.
Hey, it's Grace. Can we talk about something serious for a minute? Your age. Getting old has its perks. But remember, being a few years younger, you know, your hair was thicker, you didn't have so many wrinkles, that extra weight wasn't haunting you, and you just felt better. Well, we can't turn back the clocks and go back 10 or 15 years, but you can start feeling and looking 10 or 15 years younger with Nature's Youth RSF. It's a doctor-formulated daily supplement that helps your body maintain its peak performance and fight the aging process. Imagine sleeping better, looking better, and feeling better. See how Nature's Youth RSF has helped thousands of people just like you at nature'syouth.com. nature'syouth.com. Imagine how it will feel when your family and friends are asking you what you did to look so good. Your secret will be Nature's Youth RSF. It's time to start looking better and feeling better. Learn more and order your Nature's Youth RSF at nature'syouth.com. That's nature'syouth.com. That's nature'syouth.com.
Hello, this is Serena Wright Taylor from Conscious Life Expo, and you're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church, who holds the Lucky Pony record for the best astrological chart since 1963. True story.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fader Night. Open lines all night long. All right, I want to thank Serena Wright Taylor, Douglas Taylor for coming in tonight. We are going through a pretty severe storm up here in the valley, and the internet and electricity has been sporadic all day today, and including last night, as we all know. So. But thank you for those two, just two champions, and to ride through that. But, you know, it's just little things. It's what we do here. All right, let's go to area code 513. You're up first on Fader Night. Who's calling?
Jimmy, hi. This is Justin. I spoke to you the other night when you spoke to Jay.
Hey, how are you, Justin?
I'm doing good. How are you?
What's on your mind?
Well, I was going to kind of share my story, and you said call back on open lines, and you'd hear it, and we'd go from there.
Okay, go.
Here we go. Let's see. I was raised Catholic. Of all years, I was born in 1984. At age 14, I was diagnosed allergies, asthma, put me through the gambit of prescription drugs, Advair, Claritin. I had to sleep with an emergency inhaler, all that stuff. By 21, I realized that the correlation between certain things I ate and my weight, my actual weight, had to do with the asthma. So I got in a little bit better shape. I watched what I ate, and I quit all those prescription drugs cold turkey. So from there, I got my first big boy job, I guess you'd say. Around the age of 23, I got a sales job. And this is the year of 2007. I'm in the Midwest, and this company wants to move out to California. And next thing you know, I throw my hat in the ring to go out to California to kind of lead this operation. And they pick me, and they say, hey, let's all go. Let's go. So I'm a little green. I don't know what I'm doing in sales, man. I have no idea, how to call and talk to a gatekeeper and get a decision maker on the phone. I don't even know what those terms mean, but I move out to Southern California in August of 2008. So you can imagine what's getting ready to take place in the economy, right?
Right.
So I'm out there, economy goes in the tank, and I'm just trying to understand what's going on. I mean, how can everything just stop and grind to a halt just like that? So I'm watching Bill O'Reilly every day, and I'm watching Rachel Maddow every day, and I'm seeing both sides of the coin, and they're talking about the same things, but they're not really saying anything different. I buy the Wall Street Journal. I'm reading that thing every day, and I'm finding out, all these companies that that they're getting bailed out because they're too big to fail. They're still paying these huge bonuses to people. And I'm like, what the heck's going on? Why is this happening? So fast forward a month or two, and this chance meeting with a guy, he passes on to me a book called The Creature from Jekyll Island by G. Edward Griffith. And I check this thing out, I read it, and boom, my mind is blown. Mind's blown, right? Because that book is amazing. Are you familiar?
No, I'm not, but continue.
So it's basically just a history of the Federal Reserve. The crookedness, how they got together on Jekyll Island back in 1913. That's when the Federal Reserve System bought essentially the United States government and went from there. Eustace Mullins is another excellent author that's done research on that. But so from there, having nothing but time on my hands because the economy is not doing anything, there's nothing to sell. And the people in California, a guy coming from the Midwest, living in Southern California, I didn't make very many genuine connections. The materialism kind of threw me off for most people. So I'm sitting there, and I get to the internet, and I'm just researching, and I start to see the Freemasons and the symbology and the dollar bill and all these things. And again, my mind is just blown. Like how can people not be aware of this stuff? What's everybody doing with their time, Jimmy?
Right.
So from there, I told them, they said, you got to get me out of California. I can't do it anymore. I'm out of here. I can't live here anymore. Get me out. So at the end of my trip in California, I stumbled onto some of David Icke's materials, and that really kind of freaked me out, hearing all about the lizard people and all that stuff, and I kind of put my research grinded to a halt. So from there, I got back to Ohio, reunited with some friends, having a good time. A few months later, the girl walks in the bar, and she's the one, man. She's the one. I never thought I'd find her, but she's the one. And the next few months are great. And then I'm playing basketball. I tear my knee up, and I'm a very physically active person. I'm in great shape. I tear my knee up. I tear my ACL. I didn't want to get surgery because I just wasn't a fan of allopathic medicine. I wasn't a fan of the whole medical industry. I knew what those prescription drugs had already did to me before. I already overcame them. So here I am with a tore-up knee, having, again, time on my hands, and that led me to Ancient Aliens. And so I started watching the Ancient Aliens TV show, and again, my mind is blown, not with what they say or what their theories are necessarily, but my mind is blown about all of the megalithic structures that are all over this world, including the United States, that I had no idea about. I grew up with the 7 great wonders. There's really more like 700. And I'm sitting there asking myself, why aren't we being educated about this stuff?
I agree. Okay, so what happens next, Justin?
So next, as I am researching this, and I actually bought a book called The Idiot's Guide to Hinduism. I'm sitting there reading this book, and it resonates, and I see, I actually typed in a picture. Back then, in that year, if you Googled Ancient Aliens, if you just put that in a Google search, and you did images, this black and white picture would pop up. And it's a very ugly-looking black and white picture with a few people on it. And I'm looking at this picture, and I'm reading the origins of Hinduism, and for some reason I connect this picture to the origins of Hinduism, and boom, I am not having an out-of-body experience, but all I can hear is bees buzzing in my ear. At this time, I don't even know what an out-of-body experience is, but something happens to me right then and there. I am, boom, hit with vibrations, and I hear this buzzing in my ear, and it lasted, I want to say, maybe 30 seconds, and I guess it was making the connection between religion and aliens, but at that time, still, I have no idea what just happened to me. So from that point on, after that next day, I read so much stuff. I mean, I want to say it's almost humanly impossible how much I read. It felt like 24 hours a day. When I was at work, I was reading. When I got home, I was reading. What was I reading? I was reading anything I could get my hands on.
Mm-hmm.
Bibliotheca Pleiades is some kind of site. I was on Cosmic Awareness. I'm reading all this stuff. And, you know, all these theories are out there that I had no idea, and even evidence behind them. So about a month later, I'm trying to wrap my mind about all this stuff that I have digested. I'm taking all this information. What does it mean? And I'm laying in my living room one night, and I always had a fear of the dark. I don't know what it was, but even in California, I'd sleep on the couch with the TV, and I'm not too proud to admit it. It is what it is. I had a fear of the dark.
I do it. No big deal. But okay, so go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm laying in bed one night, and I come to the conclusion. I'm like, man, it's all about fear. This whole experience, everything about this whole experience is about fear. And so I went to the light, and I went to the lamp, and I lived by myself, and I turned it off, and I turned the TV off, and I'm in complete darkness, and I just said to myself, I'm not afraid. And next thing you know, I mean the goosebumps, and I feel shivers, and I said it, and it was like something attacked me, the goosebumps and stuff. But I said again, I'm not afraid. And I took a step on my first step upstairs, because my bedroom was upstairs, and I said, every step, I'm not afraid. And I swear the goosebumps got more, and I don't even know how to describe it, what was kind of coming over me, but I was resilient, and I said, I'm not afraid. And everything that I was ever afraid of, I started to get these pictures in my mind of just stupid little stuff that I'm afraid of, sharks, whatever. So I'm standing strong. I'm not afraid. I lay in my bed. I close my eyes. Still, my body, I'm almost heart racing, tingling, but I'm staying calm mentally, and I said, I'm not afraid. And I lay down, and I close my eyes, and next thing you know, the bees buzzing kind of thing, the vibration kind of hits me again, starts at the feet, works its way up to my head, and I'm sitting there laying with my eyes closed, and I'm actually seeing stuff through my closed eyelids. At first, it starts out with shapes, geometric shapes. They're kind of moving everywhere. Next thing you know, I am seeing, I can't even describe, the most the scariest looking things I have ever seen in my life. And I can't even put them into words. I can't. But I'm seeing these scary images, and I'm still staying strong. I'm saying, I'm not afraid. And next thing you know, I have this feeling of floating upward. And that lasted about 10 seconds until I had this thought of, oh my God, what is happening? Am I dying? Stop this. Next thing you know, I just, if somebody's laying on their back and they just sit up, I sit up, and it's all gone. I'm sweating. My heart's racing. At this time, I have no idea what an out-of-body experience is. I have no idea. Never heard of it before. Never heard of anything like it before. So that day, I start to do some research on what the heck just happened to me, and I find the out-of-body experience, and I come to the conclusion that I had an out-of-body experience. And from there, man, Jimmy, it has sent me on a spiritual awakening that I can just keep on going talking about it.
Yeah, I know. I realize that. And that kind of journey to go through personally, for you to take the road that you did, instead of walking away from it or not exploring it or not reading about it, that's pretty cool. But look where it led you. And there are people out there. There are people that you work with, people, your friends, your family, are immediately around you that don't even want to admit or even talk about things like this, where their life is so closed down and they don't have any awareness about them whatsoever. And it's pretty shocking when you think about that, right? Because you know what you've gone through personally. You know that there's something else out there besides driving to work, paying your taxes, and coming home at night and going to bed and waking up and doing it all over again. There is something going on out there, and now you know.
Oh, you're so right. I mean, every friend I had, family almost, the only person that stayed by me was the girl I met in the bar, and she's the one. She's the love. Everyone else. Because of the things that I was talking about. Because I'm talking about the government, and I'm talking about how they killed Kennedy. I mean, I'm talking about everything. They thought I was a freak. The things I was talking about, they couldn't even begin to look into because of, like you said, their belief in the system and how it works and all this other stuff.
Yeah, it's all programming. It's all programming. David Icke lays it out really well. He's going to be with us next week, by the way, on the show. We're going to have David here.
Is he?
Yeah,
awesome.
and the thing, well, I've gone through what you just went through and different forms of that many times. But I'll never forget, there are a few seminal moments in my life where I went, okay, holy crap. But I remember back in 2008 when I got a bootleg version of Zeitgeist. Right?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, right. Yes. And this is 2008, and Rita brings it home. She's like, okay. And she had told me, okay, I've got in a couple of days, I'm going to have this video. And so anyway, she brings it home, and I watched that. I watched it through, maybe the first night I watched it twice. The first 15 minutes of Zeitgeist, the religious part. Amazing. I watched that over the next couple of weeks. I watched it over and over and over again. And it was one of those things because they get into the Fed and they get into all these other 9/11, of course. And all of that is eye-opening stuff. But that first 15 minutes, that first 30 minutes of Zeitgeist is a game changer.
Certainly, especially if you grow up Catholic or Christian because of how they discuss Jesus and how there's all the other Jesus myths on every other continent of the world.
But I did not discuss it with anybody. I thought it was too dangerous. And
Jimmy, you know what I did? Jimmy, I the same year you watched it, I watched it. You know what I did? I bought 20 copies and I handed them out to people.
Yeah. We I remember something weird happened, and Justin, I want to thank you for the phone call. I got to get to some other calls here, but I remember the person that gave us the DVD asked for it back, and I didn't want to give it up, man. I didn't want to give it up, and we ended up getting our own copy. And since then, I've had the director on the show, and I've got his new book here too as well. But that was.
Jimmy, before you let me go, I want to say just two names. I don't know if you've got these people. Have you ever got Michael Tessarion on the show?
I've talked to him. He's pretty okay. I've got to just say this really quick because I have to get to some calls here. He is very private. He's got a couple of friends that he goes out there and does stuff with, but he's always researching. But the answer is, yes, he wants to come on the show. Yes, we've reached out to him. We just haven't been able to lock down that date. But, yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah. One more name, Val Valerian.
No, I have not.
Do some research on him, my man.
Okay, I'll do that, Justin. Hey, happy Valentine's Day.
Take care, brother.
You take care. That's an amazing journey, my man. Seriously. Thank you so much, Justin.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you, Justin. You too. That's a great phone call right there. And you know what? I'm just going to get to the next one really quick. Let's go to area code 928. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. It's Fran.
Hi, Fran. Wow. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fantastic. It's raining outside. It's Valentine's Day.
Yep, it's raining out here.
It's Fadernight. I'm talking to you, and there you go. Okay.
I just wanted to call in and say hi. I haven't listened for a long time because of all the controversy going on and all of the other realms.
What controversy are you talking about?
What do you think?
I don't know.
Come on.
I don't know.
The Corey Good, David Wilcox,
right?
All of that stuff.
Why would that
back out?
Look, Fran,
I had to back out.
Yeah, I hear you. But just let me say this, okay? What you're mentioning right there, I mean, David is one situation in this thing, and Corey is certainly another. But in the big realm of things, if you slice up the pie, you got a circle in front of you, got a pie in front of you, you got a beautiful peach pie in front of you, right? And you want to cut a slice off of that pie and eat it. Well, you're going to cut off a pie that is maybe even a quarter of the pie. That's what I do. But maybe it's an eighth of the pie. And you want to cut off an eighth of that pie and put it on the plate and enjoy it, right? Okay? And now you've got, hold on.
Sweet potato pie.
Okay, sweet potato pie. And now right in front of you, now you've got the whole, you've got almost a whole pie left, right? Okay? That's our community. And that slice that you took, but hold on, Fran. Fran, hold on.
What?
Listen to me.
Okay.
Okay. That Corey Good slice of the pie that's part of our community, you would have to take the sharpest knife in the world and slice off the next slice of the pie that would be as thick as a human hair. A little thin slice of that pie. That's the Corey. That's the Corey part of our community. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There's so much more exciting stuff that is going on out there at any given time. So to have him emotionally affect you, you got to remember. What you're.
It wasn't an emotional thing. It was just okay. It was the controversies that were going on.
Created by him.
Everybody telling stuff, and I just went,
I
don't want to hear it.
And that's what I'm trying to say, Fran, is that it wasn't a big chunk of this community. It was the Blue Eagle Task Force. It's like 5 people that were out there just trying to cause all these issues. And that's what it, and so you don't have to worry about that in that, that everybody's talking, not everybody, nobody cares. And now that the community.
I wasn't going everybody is just,
yeah.
I just got a little bit of it and went, okay, I'm going to back out for a while.
Right. And sometimes you need to do
back.
that. Yeah, good.
I love you.
Good. We love you.
I love you. I love Rita.
And when
I
are we
love
going to
David?
When are we going to
Corey, even if whatever is going on is weird. I don't care.
When are we going to see you again?
Probably not ever. I'm still trying to pay off my credit card from the first year I went over there.
Oh, I get you.
Contact.
I get you.
Yeah.
I get you. Well,
I'm one of those poor people.
Yeah. So are we. We barely scrape by, but
yeah, right.
No. It's life's not easy for anybody, especially these days. But yeah,
I know.
I hope
that I so much enjoy. I listen to your show usually on a repeat on YouTube or something.
Mm-hmm.
I still listen because I love you guys.
Right on, Fran. It's really good to hear your voice.
That's hysterical.
I miss you, Fran. You got to figure out a way to come and hang out with us. And if you can't come to us, then we'll just have to come to you. Okay.
You better get your ass out here.
I'll talk to you, Fran. Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Happy hearts.
I'll talk to you. Thank you, Fran. Behave.
Love you, sweetie.
Love you back. Thank you so much, Fran.
You bet.
That's Fran out there in Arizona. And let's see. Okay, I am going to... Let's do this. Let's go ahead and take a break right here, and then we'll just come back and continue with phone calls. Because if I pick up a phone call now, I can only talk to somebody for 30 seconds. That's just not right, is it? Then I got to put him on hold and then bring him back after the commercial break. And that just ain't right either. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. It's Fadernight, Thursday night open lines. I'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
All
Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRARadio.com.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
Hurricanes, earthquakes, wildfires. This year we've experienced more than our fair share. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and last month I decided to make sure my family does not have to worry about food should we get caught in a real emergency situation. Introducing Numana, a healthy, storable product that tastes so good that you'll want to eat it every day instead of just during those times of duress. All Numana products have a 25-year shelf life, are MSG and GMO-free, no preservatives, and are made in America. With the Numana pack in your home, you'll be able to sleep at night knowing that you've protected your family. Not only have I tasted and tested, I own it. Now you can too. Just click on the Numana banner on JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code Jimmy when you order. In addition to a discount, we'll send you an autographed Fade to Black t-shirt. Seriously. Go Beckley Teppy. Do you want to be an official Fadernight? Of course you do. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. Just go to our membership section at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA. KGRARadio.com.
If you have hard water, the lime scale not only leaves white spots, it clogs pipes and breaks down appliances, costing you hundreds of dollars in energy and wear. Eliminate lime scale and other water issues like brown staining and bad odors with HydroCare water products, available from Wave Home Solutions. Wave's affordable water systems don't use salts or chemicals. You'll love the way your water tastes, smells, and looks. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Are you intrigued by paranormal talk radio? You'll love the new paranormal radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the paranormal radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the paranormal radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. What is cracking, everybody? Thursday night, Fadernight, open lines all night long. The call-in number is 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. Open lines all night long. All right. Now, a couple of things. When you call in, and, you're going to say hello to Rita, and that's all good. But when you get put on hold, it's going to go silent. You're not going to be listening to the show. Don't hang up after that.
Okay, just be patient, and I'll answer all of the calls in order. Just because it goes silent doesn't mean that you're not here, because you are. With that, let's go to the phones. Let's go to 905. You are up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy. This is Bodan. I called you before Christmas. Actually called you from Cuba, if I don't remember that call. But I'm back home, and just wanted to say I'm going to the Conscious Life Expo next week. And you're one of the main reasons I'm going. I'm looking forward to hanging out with you, maybe saying hello, grabbing a Fade to Black coffee with you.
Absolutely.
And again, just looking forward. It'll be my first time going.
And besides me, what else are you excited about?
Well, I wanted to share something with you. And the gentleman that called just earlier today about his journey, I've got a similar journey, but I'm going to be quick to the point. A few years back, I broke my neck riding a bike, and ever since then I've done ayahuasca, and I also went on CE5s with Dr. Stephen Greer. And during that expedition, you know what, I don't know what your opinion is about Dr. Greer, but we saw so many different ships and so many different orbs and beings when we were there. And I actually saw a gold ship materialize right beside me during a CE5 meditation. It was only about 3 seconds, and it didn't fully materialize. But once you start getting onto this conscious journey, man, the world just opens up to you. You start seeing things that people are kind of either medicated or just they're so tied up in their day-to-day lives that they just can't appreciate or actually see some of these things. Another thing I wanted to mention to you is, have you ever heard about infovision?
Infovision. Why does that ring a bell?
Well, infovision was created by a gentleman called Mark Komisarov out of Russia. He actually lives in the U.S. right now, and he was actually co-created by Michaela Estradi. She's out of Romania. And what it is, if you when you in your spare time you can Google it, but basically what you do is you put on a mask, and what happens after a certain amount of time, provided, number one, you believe in the process, and number two, you want to do the process, you start seeing using sensors that are around your body, and you start seeing colors while the mask on. Now, kids, because they're not conditioned just conditioned by society, you put on a mask and the kids start seeing right through the mask almost instantly. So I hold up, I'm actually a trainer of this, and I hold up, I put a mask on the kids, and I have colored pieces of paper, and I stand behind them, and they're showing, they're writing out, they're seeing the colors before they even come. And actually now, with some of the kids that are advanced, I go to the next room and I say, okay, what color's in my hand? And they get the colors. Now, what this does is it builds the kids' confidence, number one. Number two, it builds your intuitive abilities, and it builds that knowing. And the knowing's even more powerful than intuition, because intuition, it's still a little bit of a guess, but knowing is actually knowing what's going to happen next, and it's pretty fascinating. But it also helps wake up your consciousness, which is, I feel, society is starting to wake up quite a bit right now. What's your opinion on?
Well, that's fascinating. It's something I've got to go in and look into. Children have a much more open mind, and they haven't been polluted yet. And so to tap into any other energies that they may have, also, that are lost as we get older. We lose.
We have all these powers that the kids have. They're not lost. They're just hidden.
That's what I mean.
Everyone. everyone can get it back if, number one, they believe in it, number two, they work on it, number three, they want it. So, and actually, if we're at the show, Jimmy, I'll show it to you. I'll bring my kit with me. I'll do a test on you.
Okay, looking forward to it. So we'll see you next Friday.
You bet.
All right, have a safe trip
Thanks
out
for taking
here.
my call.
Yeah, thank you, Bowden. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Have a great night. And that's a great phone call there. InfoVision. I haven't heard of InfoVision. Have you guys heard of InfoVision? I looked it up, and InfoVision is the first things that pop up is a software company, and I know that isn't the case here. Very, very direct here. It's an global IT company. So yeah, somebody hit me with InfoVision, and let's see what that is all about. I would love to find out. See, that's the thing when it comes to kids. If you suggest something, or want them to tap in, they're going to go, okay, let's go. They want to know about ghosts and the paranormal and telepathy and ESP and communication and dreams and all of course, UFOs and ET and anything that ties into the paranormal. All of that is right there. And so they are open to it. They're not blocked off and clouded yet. That's my personal take on this. So, what I used to do when I was a kid, what I used to do when it came to things like this is I accepted, and this goes back to the earliest of ages, I accepted all of this. I really believed it. I felt that in my soul that there was something else going on out there, and I would go and explore and dream and read and I would do all of these things. That was my thing. And so here I am today, and I go back and I think about children and their abilities to tap into these things. I know that it's real. So seeing through a mask, that's pretty interesting, because they're not seeing through the mask, right? Or are they? Right? You follow what I'm saying? Do you see where I'm going? And I think that's one of the most interesting parts. Okay, let's get back to the phones. The phones are acting a little bit trippy here. Everything was just fine until now. I don't know if it's the storm outside or whatever. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. And I've got Rita on the other side answering the phone calls, and I can't see them. I can't even intercept, so I don't know what's going on. So there you go, 747-228-2051. Yeah, I'll see them flash when they come in, but they're instantly heading over to Rita. So there you go. And let's see. Let's go right here. Let's go. Let's see what's happening. Okay. Yeah, wow. We've got some issues here. That's weird. Okay. Let's light these up. Let's see. Let me grab this one here. Let's grab this one. And yeah, things are not happening. Things are not happening. I don't like this dead air. I don't like this dead air. 747-228-2051. And I'm going to just pick up every phone call that comes in. And it was working fine earlier today. No issues, right? All happy, toe tapping, doing the dance here in the studio. And now all of a sudden in the last 5 minutes, everything has gone haywire. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Let me take a quick break. This is Fade to Black. I'll be right back after. Well, okay. Let me see. I'll try this one right here. And wow. I don't know. Let's try this one. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. You're live. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Nope. Okay, let's try this one. Hi, you're live on Fade to... Yeah, you're live.
Hey, Jimmy, it's John Ledford from Port Orchard, Washington.
Hey, John, how are you? Love that new shirt.
Don't you? I'm doing good. Just wanted to give a shout-out to Inquire. It's his birthday.
It's his birthday?
Yeah, it's his birthday today.
Have you heard his new stuff? Did you see that video he posted today of his of his isolated vocal track? Is he trying to give people nightmares?
It's sounding good.
It was sounding good, but is he trying to give people nightmares? If you could do that, with your voice, would you do it? Would you do it in public?
Oh, yes. I definitely would. And I can't do it. I tried. I'm not Cookie Monster vocal guy.
And what about, I posted up, I'm going to have to go back into my Twitter really quick, but I posted a band up. Let me go back. Let me find it. It was yesterday, and it was, let me go back. It's just an amazing track. Where did it go? I knew I was going to do this. See, I should never do this live on the air. Yeah. Just let me find this. It's really not that simple. But I posted the tracks yesterday, and I got to tell you, that was some good stuff. And the band was called I can't find it. It was right here. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Okay, the band is called Rebirth Element. Did you check that track out?
No, I didn't.
Oh, man. And it's a great video. And I popped it up yesterday. Let me see if I can retweet it and get it out here for everybody. But you got to check this out. This is, hold on. This is what we are talking about right now. Check it out. Okay. Boom. I'm going to tweet, and there it is. That's Rebirth Element. Joshua. What a great track. What a great video. Really, 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 really well done. Really well produced. And yeah, and you look at his picture and you're like, because I listened to it, it's so mature, so well written, very melodic. The message is there, it's clear, it's written for our community. He's a Fadernight and all of that. And then I click on his picture. I'm like, he's like 16 years old. God.
Oh,
I just suck as a musician, man. When you got.
Oh, I feel that.
Yeah, you got guys.
I'll be 49 this year, and I'm like, I got friends in their 20s that are just like killing it, and I'm like, how are they doing this? Like, how come I didn't do this?
Yeah, he's got
them to enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm looking at this picture of now. Okay, he might be older. I don't know, but I just look at this and go, oh man, I don't know where I missed the boat, man. But I punched the wrong ticket on that train because he is really, really talented. So I posted it up there right now. Everybody go and check it out. It's called Rebirth Element. And this is their first single coming up off of their new CD that's coming out. I guess he's got a couple of more singles that are going to be right behind this one. But Rebirth Element, it is unreal. John, check it out. You've got to check it out, okay?
I just found it. I got it.
Okay, there you go.
Listen a little bit.
Behave and be well, John.
You too.
Thank you so much. That's John Ledford from Canada right there. I'm telling you guys, Rebirth Element is what you want to check out. Let's go to 949. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Good evening, Mr. Church. This is Andy. How are you?
Hey, Andy. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, right on. It's funny. A few minutes ago, I actually wrote your name down with 3 question marks, and then you called. How trippy is that?
Like I said, that's how my life has always been, and you can kind of see the synchronicity that goes on with people that I interact with.
Right. All right, let's. We've got about 13 minutes, 10 minutes. Where did we leave off last time?
Last time we left off, I believe I had started with my experiences that started from childhood, and I wanted to clear something up real quick too.
Sure.
I didn't want to give the impression that I had some kind of evil stepfather or that he mistreated me. He was a very kind.
No.
Oh, okay.
I didn't get that at all. I didn't get that at all.
Okay, good. He was a very kind and loving man, and he did the best that he could to help raise me and my mother and later on my half brother and half sister.
Yeah, absolutely. And being a step parent, that is being a parent is tough. You want me to tell you what's tough? Is being a step parent. That's one of the toughest gigs out there, man, because you don't have from both sides, from the child's perspective, because I've had step parents, right? There's always something that's going to be a little strange there. And it's the same thing for the parent too as well, or the step parent. And you both want the best of both worlds. You do, and it's a difficult relationship to have flourish, to blossom. It's tough, man. It's a tough thing. So, I'm a stepdad, and I've had step parents. It's tough. It's tough. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. So I'm with you. I didn't get that vibe. Vibe at all. Actually, I thought it was a pretty good relationship. So, okay. So I remember all of that. And then you went back and talked to your mom about this much, much later. I think that's where we left off.
Yes. And it was through her confirmation and affirmation of my experiences during that time in my life, that gave me the courage and wherewithal to begin to seek some answers. And I began to maybe think that I wasn't crazy, but to get to Avon was not an easy road. I first went to my family doctor, and I spilled my guts out to him for probably about an hour, basically telling him everything, starting from childhood going forward. And he had his back to me, and he had my chart open. And I kind of realized that I had been going on for a little while, and I paused to see if, what his intake was going to be on this. And he threw my chart closed together, threw his hands up in the air, spun around in the chair and said, Andy, I've never had a patient tell me any of this stuff before. I don't know what to do. And literally my heart sank. And right then his assistant, who was a nurse, ran in the room and said, you need to calm him down. We need to check his vitals. And and he said, yeah, we need to do that. And they put they took my blood pressure, and my blood pressure was through the roof. I had no idea that I had become so agitated and, I don't want to say hysterical, but, obviously recounting this stuff had like I said, I still have PTSD. When I talk about it, it brings up a lot of reactions. And they had to keep me there for about an hour under observation because they wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to, go into cardiac arrest or anything. And he really couldn't do anything for me. And I walked out of there feeling really, really low. And when I drove home, I was really down and depressed, and my wife was upset and she was worried about me. And then I went and saw a psychiatrist, and that person tried their best to help me, and they really didn't have any experience dealing with this phenomena. And it wasn't until I actually went to my chiropractor, of all persons, someone that was very holistic in their approach of treating people, and he recommended that I go see his personal hypnotist, and she specialized in people that were trying not to smoke or prepare for an interview or an exam. So I went in and I did do, I don't want to say a regression with her, but I did do a session, and she was very intrigued, but at the same time, I knew she was way out of her element. And
were you still having contact through all of this, through this time?
More or less, yes, I was. I mean, there's stuff that we haven't even talked about. I mean, gosh, I mean, I wouldn't know where to begin. I mean, my first girlfriend was a year older than me, and I was a senior in high school. So she was a freshman in college, and she attended a university that was about an hour drive from where I was living with my parents. And one morning I was driving back from her place to my parents, and it was just probably like 5 or 6 in the morning. And I was on a major interstate highway, and I noticed all of a sudden all of the vehicles going in both directions, they all started stopping and slowing down. And I thought there was an accident up ahead. Well, I was traveling westbound, so traveling from the north to the south, maybe 500 feet above the ground, was this very large, luminous, oval-shaped, bluish-white object that had kind of a tail at the end.
Right.
And I said, holy smokes, that's why there wasn't a lot of people on the freeway, but there was enough. That's why everybody's stopping and slowing down, because they see this object. And it literally went across the horizon maybe in 3 seconds. And I couldn't see anymore, because once it crossed the highway, the trees and the rooftops of the homes on that side blocked its view. And nothing ever came up in the news about it. There was never any, I didn't hear anything about it. And I told my parents, and they didn't know what quite to think about it. And I told my girlfriend, and she was like, no, it was something else. It was, she chalked it up to maybe a meteor. And I said, no, that was no meteor.
Right.
Well, about 2 weeks later, we were traveling back to her house from my parents' house on the same highway in the very close proximity to where I had my original sighting in that area. And it was about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. And I was tired. I was driving. We were in the fast lane, and there was a middle divider. Well, all of a sudden she goes, what's that? And I look, and there's this very luminescent white light in the shape of a ball. And it's coming down, and it's maybe about 1,000 feet in the air. And the field that it's over is lit up like a baseball field. So I got really excited, and I started to tell her, see, I wasn't lying. This is something out of the ordinary. And there was no navigation lights on it. There was no airport nearby. It was just a field and then a set of railroad tracks running parallel to the highway. So without even thinking about it, I started to pull the vehicle over to the shoulder. I don't know why, I just did. Well, the next thing I know is she is standing, and I mean standing in her car seat, and her head is hitting the rooftop of her car, because this is her car, and she's hunched over like Hunchback of the Notre Dame. She yanks the steering wheel from me and diverts it over back to the fast lane. And I was probably traveling like 70, 75 miles an hour. So we start fishtailing, and she starts screaming hysterically, we're not going over there. We're not going over there. And we continued on. And I never learned what that was. And I brought it up with my mother and father when she was there, and she confirmed that we saw something, but she didn't want to talk about it. And even when we broke up about a year later, and we remained friends for about a year and a half before we totally didn't have contact. And I probably am the one that ended that friendship. because every time we did talk, I would bring that sighting up, and she would instantly get turned off, and she would just say, I don't want to talk about it. And, I don't know what happened. It was weird. I don't have any memory of what really happened before and what really happened afterwards, but it was just, one of those things. And I was just glad that I had someone that was there for a short while that confirmed that I wasn't the only one that was seeing things. And I remember my stepfather telling me that when I brought this to his attention and my mom's attention, he told me a story of when he was in the Army National Guard and he was out on maneuvers somewhere in the desert near Barstow, California, and him and his Army buddy were driving around on the Jeep at night, and they got to a hill, and on the other side of the hill, they said it was lit up like a city, and they both got really, really, really scared, and they turned the Jeep around and left. And I never pursued that with him anymore, but based on my experience and knowledge, I think that when you get that close to their craft, usually there's more than just a sighting. And, I just wish that he was still alive and that I could have spoke with him and maybe even had him go see Yvonne. Because one thing I didn't mention last week when we were speaking is when I was talking about Noisy, I do have memories of Noisy going into my parents' bedroom, and I could hear their muffled cries and moans, and I couldn't do anything about it, and I was upset, and I did talk to my mom about this, and she said that she didn't remember anything, and
well, it sounds to me, Andy, it sounds to me, and I can't wait to talk to you next week. This is what sounds to me like you have been selected, right? That there is something about you in your life of contact that the rest of us need to hear about. And so next week, when I talk to you again, I want to specifically focus on just that, on what you think is going on and why you. So, and just thank you for, having the courage to call in and share all of this with us, and enjoy the rest of your Valentine's Day. Thank you so much, Andy.
All right, you too.
Thank you. Andy, what? Wow.
Hi, everybody. This is Rob Halford, the Metal Guard on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station, Salt Lake City, Utah, Van Buren, Arkansas.
Poor water quality is a major health issue, and it's only getting worse. Municipalities can't keep up, standards have dropped, and pollutants are increasing. Where does it all end? It ends by keeping the pollutants outside of your home with HydroCare's advanced systems available at Wave Home Solutions. No less than the best purification materials and processes have been developed by HydroCare to provide you with healthy, clean water for drinking, cooking, and showering. HydroCare far surpasses the competition in removing chlorine, odors, iron, lead, chemicals, limescale, and much more. Don't settle for less when it comes to your water. We'll take care of the toughest water problems for you, whether it's from a city or well source. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, call 888-997-WAVE. That's 888-997-WAVE. Or go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
Your contact for current news and trending topics. KGRARadio.com.
Does your basement or crawl space have a damp, musty smell? Well, watch out. That's a sign of too much moisture and not enough ventilation. And that can mean increased mold growth and the buildup of harmful toxins and gases. Don't bother with a dehumidifier. It just circulates the same unhealthy air. Now there's a better way to remove these dangers and odors. It's with the computerized Wave Moisture Control Unit that reduces moisture and expels pollutants
pollutants.
We replaced our old dehumidifier with the Wave unit, and in only 3 weeks, our basement is dry and the musty smell is gone.
Wave units require no maintenance, no buckets of water or filters, and costs only pennies a day to run. Breathe better, live healthier with an affordable, no-maintenance Wave unit. Call 888-717-WAVE, 888-717-WAVE, or visit dryhealthyhome.com. Dryhealthyhome.com.
Ride the wave. Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I only drink Fade to Black blend coffee from River Moon. Just click on the River Moon coffee banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Promo code F2B Blend.
So are you tired of being tired? Well, then it's time to get the tea. Hey, it's Lisa here to tell you about this all-natural, all-organic tea I've been drinking that has had great results for over 20 years. It's called Life Change Tea, and it's specially formulated to help detoxify and cleanse your kidneys, liver, colon, and blood all at once. The colon is one of the most ignored organs in the human body. The faster that waste is eliminated from the body, the less time that waste sits in our intestines, spreading toxins to our bloodstream. This tea helps cleanse chemicals caused by outside intruders from our entire digestive system. And get this, weight loss can be a side effect. And with continued use of the tea, you can experience clearer, healthier, younger looking skin, increased energy, and a happier outlook on life. So if you're tired of being tired, get the Life Change Tea at getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. And like me, you'll be glad you did.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi available, you can still listen to every minute of Fade to Black by just calling 605-562-4482. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and no extra cost if you have unlimited minutes. Just call 605-562-4482. You can listen to me, Jimmy Church, on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Go Beckley Tappy.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why Fade to Black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black, Thursday night, Fadernight. Open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. It's Deb from Sacramento.
Hi, Deb. How are you? Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you. Same to you. You know, the best part about tonight, I finally got to hear Rita's voice.
Oh, there you go. All right.
Yeah,
all right.
she sounds like such a sweet little thing.
Yeah, she is. It's Valentine's Day. And, yep. Okay, what's on your mind?
Well, I called earlier and it was like dropping and stuff, but I wanted to call and say if Andy was out there listening, I was hoping that he called in. And then when the phone disconnected, I'm like, I'm missing the show. I got to get back. And just as I logged back on, his call came through. And his stories are so fascinating. I think, Andy, you should write a book because I'd buy it.
Yeah. That's a life. That's a life of contact right there. That's a life of contact.
Yeah, it's fascinating. It really is. And I mean, it's real. You can tell by his voice. It's just compelling. I'm like hanging on his every word, literally.
Yeah.
So, well, last week when you were letting us guess who was going to be your special guest on Monday.
Right.
Someone had guessed, I'm not a Twitter person, so I wasn't Twittering him, but someone had guessed Elon Musk, and you said, well, kind of on that realm, you're getting warm. So when you said that, I was convinced in my mind, I thought, sorry, choke. I thought it was going to be, sorry, one sec.
Wow, Deb, excited.
Swallowed wrong.
Excited.
Excuse me. I thought it was going to be Robert Bigelow.
Okay. Well, but as it turned out, it was Jay-Z Knight. That was an amazing conversation, wasn't it?
Yes, she was fascinating, actually.
Okay.
So,
hey,
I just derailed my whole thought system by coughing. So I've kind of got a frog in my throat. So I don't want to keep you on the phone.
I hate that when it happens. So, Deb, do me a favor, get it together, and go enjoy the rest of your Valentine's Day.
You too. You and Rita have a good one.
Yeah, thank you, Deb. And that was a lot of fun having a surprise guest like Jay-Z for everybody, because I know that it was going to catch everybody by surprise. And now, as far as Elon goes, and I really mean this when it comes to Elon, I think that he would be open to coming on the show. I really do. There's something about Elon, and I've been hooked on Mars, that new series, that new Mars series. But there's something about Elon. I think he'd be down for it. I really do. So you never know what the future is going to bring. Let's go back to the phones. I think we got area code 765. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
This is Scotty from Anderson, Indiana.
Scotty from Anderson, Indiana, home of Delco Remy. That's right. How you doing, man?
Doing great. I was wanting to talk to you about ancient civilizations.
Let's hear it.
There's all kinds of controversy about where it is, what's the oldest, how old it is. I know about the pyramids, and I know about the Sphinx, and how the Sphinx is supposed to be much older than the pyramids. So, something to do with about water erosion, and there's a certain time when water was in that area.
Yeah.
And I know about Göbekli Tepe.
Right.
And another thing is the ancient civilizations and monoliths that are under the water.
Yes.
So when it comes right down to it, if I want to find the most ancient civilization, is it under the water?
Could be. When well, first off, the easy answer to that would be, of course, because when you look at the sea levels and how they have risen and fallen over the years, and you go through those cycles where before the last ice age and the big melt-off that happened, where the sea levels were much, much, much lower. Now you're going back, 15, 20,000 years and before that. All of the shoreline all around the world was completely exposed. And you can go right now and look offshore of India, and especially up in the northwest shoreline portion of India, where there is entire cities that are now underwater there. And these are archaeological sites that are proven, but the currents and things are really difficult to just go and scuba dive, but they know that they are there. So there's that part of it, okay? And then there's the above ground aspect, because when you look at Pumapunku and some of the dating that has been referred to there in Tiwanaku, because of the celestial alignments that are there, then it would point to 15,000 years ago. And there might be something in the lake there, too, as well. So, and that's above ground, right? That's up at 12,000 feet altitude, Pumapunku. So what was up there 15,000 years ago? And then you can go beyond that. And when you look at Padang Badang, there's that, which is 25,000 years ago. And other ancient sites that I find really, really, really interesting that I still can't explain, and I don't even think the dating is right, especially with conventional dating, is sites like Machu Picchu. Machu Picchu, which anybody can go and visit and go up there and check out, is, how did they build that? Nobody knows specifically when. It was just discovered. Nobody knew it was there. We luckily discovered it. It was completely abandoned. So, yeah, and it's not just about, Stonehenge and Göbekli Tepe. I totally agree with you. Puma Punku really stands out as well. Puma Punku is just an amazing site. Amazing. But how many more Göbekli Tepes are out there, that were built 12,000 years ago or before, when technically they shouldn't exist?
Right. So right now it's all still theory. Right now we still don't have a pinpoint on where that oldest is. It's all still theory. Is that correct?
Well, of course, if you want to look at it that way, then if we haven't discovered it yet, we don't know. But when we look at the hard numbers, there wasn't supposed to be anything built before 3000 BC, and that was the start of all civilization, whether it was ancient Sumer, Mesopotamia, or Egypt, however you want to look at it, that it was always 3000 BC. And then you got to back up 7,000 years before that. Think about how long that is, 7,000 years. The United States is 250 years old, right? And you start to think about 3,000 years, 3,000 BC, and then go 7,000 years before that. Do you know how much time that is? That's an incredible amount of time. But 7,000 years before the Great Pyramid was built and the Giza complex and ancient Egypt, Göbekli Tepe was built. And in many regards, Göbekli Tepe is just as amazing and technically advanced as the Giza Plateau. It's really that unbelievable, and it was on 7,000 years before that. 7,000 years. That's incredible to me. So how many more Göbekli Tepes are there around the world? I don't know.
I think the underwater thing is really a big thing, because then you're talking about the meltwater and all that, and that goes way back.
That goes way back. And I'll tell you, if you want to look at something fascinating, you want to go underwater, then go to the Gulf of California, the Baja, and look there between Cabo San Lucas, which is down at the tip. Go up into the bay there, and you will find what looks like, and you can see it right on Google Earth, under the water there. It's like 100 miles by 50 miles across, what looks like an airport. Roads, it's the most incredible structure, and it's right there. And nobody's talking about it, but I will. And I brought this up and posted pictures maybe about a year ago, and then maybe 6 months ago. But there is something there. That is evidence right there. That is not some sonar anomaly that's been created by satellite imaging. There is something in the Gulf there, in the Baja. It's incredible. It's huge. You can't even miss it. Just go and look. Google Earth, and just look. And as you start to adjust to what you're looking at there, then you'll see it. And you're going to go, holy smokes, look how big that is. And if that doesn't look like an airport under the water, I don't know what does.
Wow. Okay. And that's off Cabo San Lucas, you said?
Yep. Go east of Cabo San Lucas, and it's in the Bay of California there, Gulf of California, between Baja, Mexico, and the mainland in Mexico. You can't miss it. Go check it out.
I got a follow-up question. Do you know enough about the House of Blue Lights that you could do a story on it, an episode on it, or a half an episode, or a third of an episode?
Now, I know you're right about that. The House of Blue Lights, everybody, is this urban myth, urban legend in Indianapolis that goes back to my childhood. And I would love to cover it. So yeah, it's been brought up like a dozen times now in the last 2 weeks. So yeah,
really,
yeah.
I thought that was a very, very, very local story.
It is a very local story, but I remember hearing about it when I was like 10 years old.
Right,
and that would have been 1974. I heard about the House of Blue Lights.
Okay, well, I'd love to hear an episode on it. That'd be great. I appreciate it, Jimmy. I'll let you have other callers. Thank you so much.
Have a good night. That's another great call. Nothing like Naptown, man. I will always take a phone call from Naptown. Let's go to area code 514. You are up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live. 3, 2, 1. Man, I hate to do that to anybody. I absolutely detest saying 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live. Oh, no. You're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? Okay. Let's see. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? Okay. All right. This is really bumming me out. This is really bumming me out. Hi. Incredible here. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live.
Thank you.
You're live.
Okay. Am I good? Can you hear me? Everything good?
Yes, you're live. Who's calling?
My name's Mike. I'm from Las Vegas.
Hi, Mike.
In the area. Hi, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. What's on your mind?
Do you know the area of Phelan, California?
The area of what?
Phelan, Phelan, P-H-E-L-A-N. It's by Victorville.
No, I don't, but I know Victorville, of course.
Okay. I lived in Phelan for about 25 years, man. I now live in Vegas, but I've seen a whole lot of different anomalies there, and it really kind of trips me out that I've never heard anything about it. There's a field there called Gray's Field. Have you ever heard of that?
No. But what goes on there, Mike?
Okay, I've seen, this is 20 years ago, teardrop shaped vessels. I've seen this probably 5 or 6 times. They came out of the place. They would come out of there fairly slowly. They would, and when they would stop, you would hear absolutely nothing, but a slow whoosh, whoosh, whoosh sound. Then they'd move, not fast, but in the same direction every night, like in the northeast direction. Have you heard anything about this, man? This is like 20 years ago. You know El Mirage Dry Lake?
Well, that whole area. See, this is when you get to that part of California, which is Victorville and Palmdale and Lancaster. You got to remember what's going on out there, man. You've got everything that goes on the Mojave. You've got Edwards Air Force Base. You've got the spaceport that is there. And at that spaceport, you've got Virgin Galactic and all of the other stuff. There's reasons why all of these aerospace companies, that includes Lockheed and Skunk Works, there's a lot of technology that goes out there, and it's flying all over the place. You know, all of the Have Blue, all of the stealth aircraft, all of the flying saucers, ET technology, radar experimentation, invisible aircraft, all of that is going on right there. And so when you ask me about this area, between Apple Valley and Hesperia, that's the craziest part of the United States. Probably more nuts than Area 51 itself.
I agree totally. I've seen so many things out there, man. I mean, it's been a few years. It's died down a lot lately. Well, at least before I left there. I think because the population has grown. I've seen people sitting out in the middle of the desert at night fishing the aqueduct and seeing a blue light below and a red light above that, say 15 foot above that, just bouncing through the desert. Or 20 yards from us, a red light go flying by. Well, not flying, probably 20, 30 miles an hour, kind of bouncing around. No roads, no nothing. Anything below the aqueduct there, I felt all kinds of things, heard steps behind me. I didn't never personally see a chupacabra, but I know a few people that lived pretty much in the middle and know everything in the middle. They were out there. seen tracks and scat that I have never ever seen before. I'm pretty outdoorsy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a super spiritual place, and also all kinds of really strange lights and I've seen 4 or 5 stars in the sky. Well, I thought they were stars, not stars. I knew what they were. This was 20 years ago also. All come on at the same time, stay on for 15, 20 minutes, go off one at a time, then come back on. I mean, the place is just crazy, and I never hear nothing about it on any paranormal radio and I've been trying to research it for a while, man. It just really kind of trips me out. I've never heard nothing else about it.
Yeah, that area, which is, and it's so close to us too. From we're right here in Burbank, and you just got to go. 14. You're there in 30 minutes. But
exactly
from Palmdale to Mojave, over to Barstow, and then down to Victorville, that whole, that square, because, like I said, you've got Edwards Air Force Base there. That is a huge China Lake. You've got all of the military installations, and then you've got every single high-tech company that is part of this this technology is all based out of there. And where the technology comes from, is it ET technology that's been backward engineered? I don't know, but everybody sees strange stuff there. There isn't anybody that lives, in Palmdale or Lancaster or Mojave or, Barstow, and I'm not making this up, or Victorville, that is going to sit here and say that they've never seen anything strange in the sky, because they see it every single night.
JP, I agree. JPL is also in the lower foothills of Wrightwood there. They got a big old complex there also, man.
Yeah, right across the street from us. Yeah, it's huge. It's huge.
The thing that really is these church, they were rather large. I couldn't tell. This is 20 years ago, man. Also, I mean, they were somewhere between 50 yards and 100 yards. It's hard to judge the size of something in the sky. There'd be 3 of them, sometimes 2 of them. I cannot believe I haven't heard nothing about these since then, and I don't think they fly out that way anymore. But it's really weird that in 20 years, I thought by now I would have seen something about them, heard something about these kind of saucer-shaped things. I know guys that have got right up the fence. If you could get near the fence line, which you usually couldn't on Gray's Field, it was like Area 51. There'd be a tan-colored Jeep-type vehicle every road after that for a couple miles. It was it's amazing stuff, and I really can't believe I haven't heard nothing about it since then. No, I just don't understand.
Yeah.
These are huge. They're big craft.
Well, it happens so much that I'm serious that even the people that live there right now that have been living through it for decades, they're like, nah, what are they going to do? Pick up the phone 10 times a night and report something? No, I don't think
that. But I thought by now I would have seen something official about these things.
Yeah,
it was a long time ago, man.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And we have to really emphasize here that there is so much Black Project, secret access program stuff that is going on between Mojave and Edwards every single day that they don't want people to just go out there and start looking, because of the other secret government, Air Force stuff that is going on out there too, because that goes on at the same time. So is it a combination of both? Mike, I'm in total agreement with you. If anybody really wants to go see anything fun, for me, just drive up to Mojave and park your car. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. Mike,
you think it's still happening like it was, though? I mean,
of course it is.
I haven't been there in 5 years, but even before that, it was really dying off.
Yeah.
I didn't see nothing like I used to see.
Yeah. Well, go back, shoot some video, and give me a call.
Awesome.
Thank you so much,
I like your show, bro. Really cool.
Thank you, Mike. Behave and be well, and happy Valentine's Day.
You too, brother.
Thank you so much. Mike from, that whole area that he's referring to, which is in between Palmdale and Victorville. That stretch of the road right there, Pear Blossom, that's a crazy part of the world. And drive through there. It's nothing but desert. And you know what's going on. There's Edwards, there's Mojave, the spaceport. It's all right there. This is Fade and Skunk Works. It's Fade to Black. I'm your Jimmy Church. Open lines. I'll be right back.
Vivica Fox here, and you are listening to my boy, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
Hurricanes, earthquakes, wildfires. This year we've experienced more than our fair share. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and last month I decided to make sure my family does not have to worry about food should we get caught in a real emergency situation. Introducing Numana, a healthy, storable product that tastes so good that you'll want to eat it every day instead of just during those times of duress. All Numana products have a 25-year shelf life, are MSG and GMO-free, no preservatives, and are made in America. With the Numana pack in your home, you'll be able to sleep at night knowing that you've protected your family. Not only have I tasted and tested, I own it. Now you can too. Just click on the Numana banner on JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code Jimmy when you order. In addition to a discount, we'll send you an autographed Fade to Black t-shirt. Seriously, go Beckley Tappy. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I take Life Change Tea supplements every single day. It's what I do. Click on their banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roasted to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy.
Hi, folks. CBD is the home run hitter for health right now. Why, you ask? Because of what it does for the body. Unfortunately, I can't tell you all about the benefit. You know, there's reasons. Do your due diligence and log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. Ancient Life Oil uses organic ingredients and is blended in coconut oil for some of the best benefits. Legal in 50 states and non-psychoactive. Log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and my family is safe because of Numana Emergency Food Storage. Just go to the Numana banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com. Promo code Jimmy10.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Erica, Brittany, Gabby, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way. KGRARadio.com.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Welcome back. Fade to Black, Thursday night, Fadernight. Open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. One segment left. I just love Thursday nights. It is truly the best night of the week, and I'll show you right now. This is why. I just like going back to the phones. Area code 270. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, this is John.
Hey, John. Where are you calling from?
Kentucky, Fort Campbell.
Fort Campbell. Okay. All right.
Sir.
What's on your mind, man?
All right. So I have a couple questions, man. I know you talked to Corey and David Wilcock, and, you know, I've been having these certain dreams that I've been dealing with, and they've been getting progressively more in depth. At first, it started as like a feeling of an extraterrestrial, but the more that I watched these, you know, David Wilcock and wisdom teachings and stuff, last night I had this dream that I saw a crap ton of TR-3Bs in the sky, and one of them landed in my backyard, and I met this agent in a, you know, like a tuxedo type fashion, and he was talking to me, and then I was speaking telepathically with this alien, and then, you know, all this other stuff started happening and stuff like that, and I was, you know, I'm trying to figure out, like, what does this mean? Because I know that they communicate to us within our dreams and within our waking life and stuff like that. And so what's your opinion about, you know, something like that happening?
Well, I want to know what they said. What did they say?
So it was the dream. What was said was very vague for me. It was like me asking a question. It was like, you know, what's going on here? And the overall feeling that I had from this dream was complete disclosure. It was like the extraterrestrials just completely saying, you know what, screw what the government's saying. We're disclosing ourselves. But the only thing with that, it was, I know that the TR-3Bs are a government project, and I met with this government agent, and then so the general feeling of the entire dream was just, we're letting you know that we're here. And you have been chosen to know that we're here. And then, you know, in my dream, my girlfriend was with me. And it's kind of funny because after that, I went in the house and she witnessed this. And I was just like, you know, like when you say somebody would fervently, like I told you so, man. Like,
right, of course. I do it every day. Yeah. Well, John, what do you think? Do you think that disclosure is imminent? Do you think that we're on the edge of something big breaking out?
You know, like all my life, I've always felt, you know, kind of connected to the universe and stuff like that. So I think, like, with the upcoming events, with all the events going on right now with tribunals and all that stuff, like, I think we're on the cusp of something very large about to happen, you know, whether it's extraterrestrial or whether it's with this consciousness shift or whatever, you know, because I'm in the military, right? I'm able to deal with pretty much anything. And lately, things, you know, and I've kind of noticed that things have just been going haywire with my life. And I'm like, where is this coming from? And then when I watch, you know, all these videos and they kind of explain it, I'm just like, oh, okay, you know, I have an idea of why this is happening. Well, it's because the Earth is going through a consciousness shift. And if you're, you know, kind of sensitive to that, then it's going to affect you a little bit more than your average public.
Well, let me ask you this, John. John, what's your MOS? What's your MOS?
I'm a 13 Bravo. I'm a Cannon crew member.
Okay. Now, do you think that that you could, after PT, right? You're hanging out with the guys, right, and the girls. You're hanging out, and do you think you could bring up the subject of UFOs?
Most people, I've brung this up a couple times, and most people are kind of like shove me away and just like, yeah, you're crazy.
Yeah. Do you think that your CO would pull you aside and go, hey man, I think you need to go see we're going to send you over to the infirmary. You know, you need to go have a visit with the doc. Do you think and you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm an Army brat. You know, and I used to hear these conversations all the time. And when you're in the military, you've got a strict rule book that you have to live by. And
you've got guidelines.
That's right. You get an order, and that you can't say no.
Right.
I don't think so. I'm just going to take the day off. Well, it just doesn't work that way, does it? So
no, sir.
No, it just simply doesn't. And so, what do you?
I've brought this subject up to a couple of my NCOs and stuff like that, and. Very few of them have been like, yeah, you know what, I totally fucking agree. Like, some shit's going down, you know. I don't believe that we're just here because we're just here, you know. Extraterrestrials have involved themselves with us throughout the ages. That's one side.
On the
other side, I get the NCO who's just like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Hey,
Dad?
no foul language, John. No bad language.
Okay.
Kids listen to this show.
What are you talking about, guy? Like, you need to just do what you're told and act like a robot. And I'm just like, well, that's not me, man. You know,
right.
I'm a free spirit. I'm from California. So, like, you know, that's how I was born. And it's frustrating because some of these people you trust with your life, but you can't talk to them with your life, if that makes sense.
No, that makes total sense. Have you been deployed?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay, so... have you been out, in maneuvers or any drills where you've seen anything strange with other people standing around you? Anything strange in the skies?
There were a couple times when I was in Fort Polk, Louisiana.
Right.
And over there, they have a base called Joint JRTC. So you go out there for a month and you train. There were a couple times where I've seen some things because I know the difference between a plane, a drone, and a UFO, right? And I didn't say anything because 99% of the people who I would say and who I was with, because when you're in artillery, you're in a very small section, 6 people at most. And so if I were to say anything to these people about what I saw, they would just, put me in the category of a crackpot or, oh, you're seeing things, oh, that's just a drone, or, they're just doing operations over here. But there's this one time, because when you're in the military and you're in the field, they equip you with these night vision goggles. And I'm, for lack of a better term, I promise you, most of the time that I was in the field in these exercises, I was looking up with these night vision goggles. They're infrared goggles. And we all know what you can see with infrared goggles.
Yes, I have them. I sell them.
Oh, man, I would love to buy a pair.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, absolutely. Go to HoffmansOptics.com. If you go over to my website, you'll see the banner there. Click on it and scroll down. You'll see the deep blue, the Jimmy Church model. And you need to peep those out. They're the same ones that you guys have. They're the same ones. And but we have them commercially available. And so anybody can go and purchase those and go out and do what you're saying. Just go out and look at the stars. Guaranteed you're going to see something. I guarantee it. It's just a guarantee.
Oh, yeah. It's always a guarantee when you have night vision goggles because you can see there's different light spectrum than you can with your naked eye. And to continue with my story, I've seen a lot of weird things that would change directions abruptly. And, it's I feel kind of like alone on that subject when I was in the military because, who are you going to talk to about this kind of thing?
I know.
You're in the military and they're following orders, but you're, in a sense, following orders, but you're also open-minded. About this subject.
You can't follow. Once seriously, once you get placed in a certain category, your career is over in the military.
Exactly.
That's it. And you got to behave, man, and for good reason. I mean, for good reason.
And you know that all the insiders that we have with the alliance and everything, they have to remain anonymous for that very reason.
And the other thing
because
is,
they have families too.
That's right, John. And the other thing, and most civilians don't really have a grasp on this, but in the military, we're talking about people that are putting their lives on the line, a true situation where your gig is life and death, and your surviving and your success is based on who is supporting you to your left and to your right and who has your back. And there can't be any questions. There can't be anything just a little bit off of dependability. It's got to be 100% period. And that's the way the military is. And if you're going to be outside of that in any way, then there's no place for you in the military. I need to know that you are who I need you to be, right? And I'm talking, and that's it. You can't have, if there's a little bit of a question mark, then that's you've got to step aside, and they realize that. So, but thank you.
Not always. Well, not always, but sometimes you get that one NCO or your leader who's like, you know what, I'm with you, man. Like I got your back. You want a question? I'll tell you. But excuse me. Change the season.
That's okay. That's okay.
Fluctuation.
Hey, John.
Sometimes.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, John. I'm sorry.
So you get these things that you get these people who sometimes back you up, but it's very few and far in between. And before I part ways with you, Jimmy, I want to ask you another question. And I've been asking a lot of people who cannot tell me this answer. So when we talk about this, when Corey Goods speaks about genetic manipulation and this the secret space program and stuff, what age generally do they start implementing that with? You know, because I want to know if they start implementing this genetic manipulation with when you're a baby or when you're like an adult. Because with the cabal and everything, they say that they want the adrenochrome from when you're a baby, but when do the extraterrestrials or the so-called reptilians want to implement their genetic manipulation? Do they do that when you're an adult, or do they do that when you're adolescent? You know what I mean? Yeah, well, with all of that, the questions of all of that is when we have others independent of Corey. I'm talking about somebody completely separate, comes forward and continues to come forward with this information, because Corey is not the only one. If we're talking about a Space Force, we're talking about this kind of recruitment and this kind of training, there are, if you go along with his story, then there are thousands, if not tens of thousands, of these types of troops that are out there. And so the more that come forward and independently talk about these things and have evidence, then we can start to take a look at this and try to figure it out. And going back to see when if they were recruited in their childhood, when this happened, where this happened, that's what's most important, because putting all of our eggs in one basket and saying, okay, this is where we're going to base everything at, we can't do that. And I'm just as fascinated with this subject as you are. I've had Corey on the show many times. I've had Jason Rice on this show. I've had Randy Kramer on this show, Andrew Bishago on this show, and others that have talked about these programs. We need more to come forward, and I think there is something to their experiences, but it's to independently verify. Or is it just a fantastic story? Or, and John, let me say this.
I put all of them, every single name that I just mentioned here, I put them in like 4 categories or maybe 5, right? and one is they are insane. Right? They're schizophrenic, right? That's category.
We can't rule that out.
No, you can't. All right? That's number 1. Number 2, they are a complete fraud, and all of this is done just to make some money, and they want some fame. Or
right.
category.
You always have to maintain sense of skepticism.
Right. Or category number 3, it's all real. Everything that they are saying is real.
And that's the big one.
Or category number 4. No, I think category number 4 is just as crazy as the other 3. Category number 4 is these are implanted memories. This is some kind of crazy MK Ultra thing where they believe that it's real, but somebody has done this to them. So that's what we're dealing with everybody when it comes to these kinds of stories. You know, a secret space program, super soldier, 20 and back. Any of this conversation of going to Mars and fighting aliens. Well, okay, we need to take a look at this, and it's one of the 4. It's one of the 4. It's there. I don't think there is another way to look at it, and I don't think there's a gray area. And that's my take. So
let me just say this for your theory number 4. For theory number 4. So today I watched this movie called Ghost in the Shell with
great movie. Yeah, great movie. Yeah, great movie.
Now, you've seen that movie, and your theory number 4, hey, that is completely conducive to theory number 4 because they implanted fake memories within her to program her to do what they wanted her to do.
That's right.
And also, they made her, so they planted her brain into a different, like a synthetic body. And then, she goes through this entire journey of following orders until she starts, realizing like, holy crap, dude, like I'm not who I'm supposed to be. So I'm going to find out. And then, what if that's all of us?
Right. Somebody literally just sent me an email, and everybody saw me answering it. And the 5th one is they are all crooks.
Right.
And there could be that.
But we're not all crooks. We're just a victim of this divine, systematic control method for whoever's controlling this to feed off of whatever energy they want us to feel.
Yeah. It's a bizarre situation that we find ourselves in. And and John, I really, really mean this. If there is a secret space program where there are stuff being built, intergalactic, interstellar battleships out there, just stuff full of Navy personnel out there, Solar Warden, out there cranking stuff off. Well, you know what? There is a lot of witnesses. There is a lot of people. And I'm waiting for all of that to come forward. Then we got a problem.
Right.
Then we got a problem.
There's no such thing as a conspiracy theory anymore if there's so much backing it up. There's no such thing as, back in the day when 9/11 first happened, I was in junior high school, that you were a lot much older than that. But when I first saw what happened at 9/11, and then I saw all the things that came after that, and then I learned that Bush was never supposed to go to war with Iraq because he did not consult the UN. I was like, hey, you know what? Something's fishy here. And I was only, 17?
Yeah.
And so, all the things, that's when I started to realize, that the government is not telling us everything. And if they're not telling us everything, that means that they have not been telling us anything. And that just opens the entire door of a whole new realm of thinking, which is not like your average Joe thinks. Because your average Joe thinks that Cardi B is awesome, or that, the NBA playoffs are the best thing of the year, or the Super Bowl and stuff like that. I didn't even watch the Super Bowl because I'm not even, for some reason, I used to watch it with my dad because it was my dad. But now I'm just like, I'm not going to give that energy to something mindless like that. And it's not something that I chose to do. It's just something that I felt that I needed to do because of this, whatever energy that we're shifting into that I've been going through for the last 10 years of my life. And that all the things that I've been seeing, the only reason why I joined the military is for my family. I didn't fight for my country. I didn't choose to do it for my country. I chose to do it for my family and the dude to my left and my right.
Mm-hmm.
And I see these people who talk about, why'd you, their battalion commander will go up to them like, why'd you join the military? Well, for God and country. And I'm standing there in formation just like, you know what, that's a lie. Because neither your God or your country, and I'm not downplaying God, I'm not religious myself, but, I don't knock it if you are. But what's going to help you survive if you're in the hole is that person to your left or your right. And that's why I, gained, and I've gone through a lot of turmoil, and it's just the worst part of my life and the best part of my life at the same time was being in the military, because it gives you that sense of camaraderie, and it gives you that sense of resilience, and it gives you that sense of hatred, because you go throughout your days wondering why you're doing a certain little task, but you're not giving any information why you're doing that little task. And so it extrapolates even onto the battlefield of being overseas and stuff like that. And that's what I think is wrong with the military, because we are told to do these things without knowing why. And that's how they do it. That's the purpose. The purpose of the military is to break a person down, build them back up, essentially reprogram them into what they need to do based upon what the government needs them to do. Well, if you go into the military like I did, knowing that the government was flawed, then you already have the upper hand in that kind of a situation, because you're going to do it because you have to. You got to make the money. And going throughout your military career, you already know why these people are doing what they're doing and the reasons why they're doing it. But most looking at these people, knowing that they don't know why they're doing it, is a different realm of being in the military. You have these people who tell you, oh, civilian life is so hard, you're not going to like it, you're going to come straight back in the military. And then you really think about it and say, well, you haven't been in the civilian life since you were 18. You joined the military when you were 18. Well, I'm 29 right now. I'm 29, and I joined when I was 25. So I've lived a couple of years of my life before joining the military, right? I played shows in Hollywood. I'm a musician myself, and I think that's one of the most important things that anybody could ever be. But it's just a very different world view when you go into a certain situation knowing why you're going into it wholeheartedly, rather than just jumping into the pool when it's cold and it's hot outside. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
And so these people that we are dealing with today, with today's society, especially with today's society, I don't think that they actually fully grasp what is actually going on, because there's trillions of stars in the galaxy alone, and they say that, oh no, we're the only ones. Well, that's impossible. That can't be possible, because we do not perceive that. What I've been seeing from David Wilcock and Corey Good is that they literally, and this is what I tell people. I tell them, we are literally the universe witnessing itself.
That's exactly right. Yeah, that's exactly right. And John, as we wind down this show, I want to thank you for your service. First off,
thank you for your service to humanity.
Well,
what you do is better than what I do.
Oh, I'm just a guy in a microphone, man. You're out there getting it done every single day, man. Thank you for that. And enjoy the rest of your Valentine's Day. All right, will you do that for me?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, John. Be safe out there, my friend.
You too. No guarantees, though.
I know. There ain't none. All right, John. I'll talk to you soon, man. Don't be a stranger.
I will not.
Thank you so much. And that's a great phone call right there. And with that, I am just going to say this. I'm going to wind down another amazing Fadernight. I want to thank everybody for all of the phone calls tonight and all the tweets and everybody hanging out and all the email. And, of course, Serena, Wright, Taylor, and Douglas Taylor that came in earlier. All right, everybody have a great, safe, wonderful, beautiful weekend. I've got to go fight the rain and everything else that's going on here in Southern California. I'll see everybody on Monday. Our guest is Richard Dolan. Tuesday is David Icke. Wednesday, it's QAnon on Wednesday. Don't you want to know who our guest is? I don't know if I can announce it. Yeah, I don't know. That's a secret world right there. Fade to Black's executive producers Rita Camarion. Shows produced by Hill J. Palm, Renee, Dennis, and Bob. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vitoa, Mark D. Kovar. Webmaster is Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intros, Spaceboy, spaceboymusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network, and syndication is KGRA, The Planet. It's broadcast owned and copyrighted 2019 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Until Monday, everybody have a great weekend. Be safe. Go Backley Tapping.